How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from the beautiful illustrative work of Sachin Teng. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful artist, one of my new favorites that I've come across recently. And he's got this unique stylings of kind of like a mix of a Miyazaki meets almost like a street art kind of vibe throughout his stuff, and I just really love it. He's got such great vibrant colors, and he does this really cool thing with his work too. Let me see if I can find a piece here where he breaks it up with different shapes or different ideas. You can see like he has this really illustrative piece here, but then he's got almost like this snake spirit rough through the piece, which is really interesting. Kind of breaks up the style a little bit more. Like this piece with it where he dissects it, it's just really interesting the way that he plays with his illustration a little bit more than in a unique way than other people do. I'm gonna find another one of those ones that I found, like this one right here. Like instead of just playing up, you know, a really nice, well-drawn face, which he has there, he breaks it up and kind of makes it his own by ripping it apart and showing the dissection of it. And I thought that's a really interesting take, and I think it's a really great way to kind of you know, take the steps other people have put out and master those and then make it your own. And he has a really unique style that I think blends really well with high art and illustration, that it's just beautiful, but then he just kind of takes it and just twists it just a little bit, so he, you know, has his inspirations and his influences but then makes it his own. I think it's a great example of kind of what we should all be aiming for, is to find those inspirations that we love and those people that we want to model our careers or our artistic endeavors in the same vein of, but then bringing our own personality to it. But I wanted to share a quote that I found from him with you guys, and that was, I always think about what my work wants to say, and then I design to communicate that feeling. And I thought that's really interesting. It gets back to more about what's the kind of the message that you want to put out, but I thought that his interesting spin on that kind of quote is what his work wants to say, which is different than what the artist wants to say, but what does the individual piece want to say. And I thought that was an interesting spin on kind of that you know, communication aspect of visual medium. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Super Gramps rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Rigging 101, and I will throw a link in the description below, as well as some more stuff to Sachin Teng if you guys want to check out his beautiful work, which, like I said, a huge fan of. And if you're not familiar with what we'll do for the rest of the videos, we give ourselves 48 frames, give or take a few, and I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process or the creative life in general. And the main goal of these videos is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own stuff. And that being said, let's go ahead and play around here. So I was thinking for this one, I kind of want to do a run cycle. So let's start mid-run here. I thought it would be fun to do kind of a slow run cycle. Would be fun to play around with this character here. And let's get that arm, bring it down. It's a really interesting character. And we'll bring that back a little bit here. Just try and create a good starting pose to work from. Too much that way. And let's bring that back a little bit more. And let's look at the rotation here. Rotate back there. And rotate some rotate Y here, and add some rotate Y there to get a little bit of twist in there to start with. And let's get the head. Let's rotate that a little bit forward here. And I was going to grip the hands and make them fists, but I kind of like having the openness of them, so let's just pull them in a little bit. Just curl them just a little bit. And do we have individual controllers? No, we just have that curl, so okay. Just try to vary it a little bit. Do a little bit of thumb curl and thumb spread in. Rotate. I really like kind of having this hand be pretty open like it is right now, but I'm just going to try and add a little bit of character to it, so it's not completely stock here. Alright, so I think we'll start with pose kind of like that. Let's see if we can do a little bit in the toe here, up, the toe down here, and let's do the mouth, and let's close the mouth up here a little bit more. And maybe put the shoulders down a little bit here. Up there. And down there. And then I'm going to pull this back a little bit more just so we can keep our silhouette pretty clear here. So maybe I just won't go down as much. Just a little bit still though. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start there. We'll turn everything off except for our nerve curves, nerve surfaces, and our polygons. Let's go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information about that and all the wonderful products that Autodesk has, check out the links in the description below. And let's go ahead and get this started. So we'll go from 0 to 48 here. We'll go grab that and set that. I think I'm going to stick with 12s for this one. Normally I would say a little bit different timing, but I think this is what we're going to do. So let's start playing around here. Go. I think here. Just play here. Rotate that up. Toe up. Rotate that back. Toe back. And this will be a little bit lower. Down. A little less rotate here. Let's see. It's a little too far, so we'll pull it in a little bit more. This one needs to be up a little bit more and pulled back. Okay. This one feels about right. So we'll flick between those two here. And we'll go here. We'll leave it there so I can kind of get the right posing. I think we're kind of missing that a little bit. Bring it back to 12, delete that one, and then vary it here. Bring that, and bring that. keep it at least for 2 frames. So zeroed out there, zeroed out there, zeroed out there. Let's see how that feels. And then we'll go 4 frames from here, and we'll keep tweaking this until we get something we like, but I think we're starting to get somewhere. Zero that out. Still a little bit of rotate, right? And then 1, 2, zero that out. Zero that out. And here, still have the rotate Y down, right? Okay. And zero that out. And we'll have to do the up and down on the hips as well, but let's just start building it. Okay, and let's look here. And we go 4, and we zero it out here, zero it out there. Oh no, we want to keep the rotate on this one. So we just drop the Y 2 frames over, and then we drop the rotate and the toe. Still keep the Y planted. And then zero everything out here still. And then 4 frames, and we drop just the Y. 2 frames from there. Flip all those out. 2 frames from there. Keep them all up again. Okay, so let's just look at the legs again here now. And we've got a little bit of a stick towards the end when they flick up, but I think that's starting to work. Okay, and let's look at the cog controller. So let's go ahead and save our file. We got a decent thing going right now. So let's see. Let's go down here. Actually, let's go up here, and down there, and up here, and down there, up here, and down there, up here, down there, and then back again. Let's see how that feels. Okay. Let's look at our graph editor here. Let's start playing around here. Feels like it's a little too much up to start with. So it doesn't feel like there's nearly enough weight on here, so we're gonna have to add a lot more down, I think. So let's universally just pump the Y down a little bit more, which means I'm also going to probably take the translate Y's overall down a little bit here too. Okay, and we're going to have to go down lower here. Let's start doing some twists in our rotate Y here as well. There, 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 and back again. Okay, starting to come together a little bit. Let's clean it up a little bit more. And look at the chest here. And we'll swivel that. Swivel back. This way. And then back again. Okay. And let's crank it up. Even it out a little bit more. Let's see here. Okay, and we still got a lot of cleanup here to do, but we'll keep going. And we'll push the cog over that planted foot, that one over there, that one over there, and zero it out again. Let's see. Okay, I think we're going to need to pull the rotate back on the chest there. Might just because of the arms right now, so maybe we'll leave it exaggerated. Okay, so let's start looking at those arms then. So we're thinking about it now. We'll bring that back, forward again, back again, and back where we were. Let's see. Okay, and we'll bring this one. This is a little bit slower, but I kind of like it. We're favoring the up at least on this one, more so than we've done in other ones here. Bring that back and let's see. Oh, might not get that. Okay. And we can go higher. Translate Y's a little bit. Maybe we just need to punch in an extra key here, and here, and here, so we can really amp up those up and downs a little bit more. So let's see. And maybe we'll push them to the other side here. We want to go lower here, so let's go back to where we had those. So, where were we? This cog here. And there. And there. And we'll bring them down more. little bit better. I think the weight should be. Yeah. Okay, and maybe we'll exaggerate that even more here. And then let's look. Now, why does that one feel so much better than this one? It's too much twist or something here. Maybe it's just the head that we want to push forward here. It's a little better. Yeah, let's push that forward a little bit more. I think the chest just might not be equally balanced, so I might have to do a little bit less on this side. Which is okay. It's just not so balanced there. So let's see. Okay, and then let's look at this shoulder here. Do some. This one I think we did -2 here. So we'll go. Vary between that. We'll see if that works. We'll go up to about 12. Doesn't have to be exact, somewhere in there. And we'll flick back and forth between those. Let's see how it feels. Alright, I'm starting to get somewhere a little bit better. Okay, and let's start looking at these guys here. We'll drag the forearm a little bit here. And swing it forward there. Drag it back there. Swing it forward here. And we'll bring it back again. Let's see. And I think we'll start with a little less drag here. So start a little forward to begin with. Okay, and then we'll look at this one. Still got to do some work with the feet, but we'll get there. So there's a little bit of kind of stutter step there. We'll drag that one, bring it forward, drag it back, and push it again. Let's see. Okay, and we'll try and find a little more middle ground there. Now let's look at the feet a little bit more. Let's go ahead and save our file. Actually, let's finish off with the wrists before I get in there. I think that's about as far as I really want to go, so do a little bit less here. And then we'll swing it up there, back there. I don't want it to get too broken. Up here, and back again. Still feel like it's a little too broken, so we'll pull those back a little bit more. Let's see. We might have a little too much translate X. scaled it back a little bit more. Okay, and look at this wrist here. Swipe forward a little bit, bring it back a little bit, swipe forward, bring it back, and there we go. Okay, that's pretty good. One thing I might try here is look at the translates there, because we want to go a little bit lower. Just so that we don't have so much intersection there. You gotta be careful though. I think we could still get away like that. Let's see how that feels. Let's try playing with the hips a little before we scale that in. So we'll go here. And we'll rotate that to try and allow that leg to go. That. And then go back to 0. We'll balance that out. Let's see if we can't work this out this way instead. So let's see. It's a little better. Let's look at the knee here too. I feel like there's something with this knee. See, because it just intersects too much in there. So, is there I'm doing a little bit of translate X or something here. Why is that working a little better? Yeah. Let's look at the translate Y's on the feet here as well. Do you feel like it should be a little bit one frame later? Maybe we could go tilted these a little bit more. A little bit. Way up. Okay, let's play with that. adjusted some of the height of the steps there. I miscalculated one. Adjusted everything instead of just the ups. I adjusted the downs as well, so that makes it intersect with the ground plane. We're not going to want to do that, so let's flatten those out. And let's look at this one. So I just want to revert those back to being zeroed out here. Let's see if that changed anything really. That still feels about right. Okay, and let's look at the butt here. Let's do a little bit up and down there. And we're going to have to minimize that a lot. And I think I want to push it so it's at 3 here. Start at 0. End at 0. I think that'll work if we just scale it back a lot here. So let's see how we're doing. Now let's do a little offsetting with the rotation here. Actually, translation that we're going to end up doing here. And I'm sure we'll have to scale this back a lot as well. Just kind of offsetting what we did with the hip controller. Go back. Okay. And let's scale that back down. Just so we have a little bit less of that bounce in the head. It's okay, but to have some of it. But I think it's a little too much right now. So let's see how it feels. That feels a little better. Be cool if there was actually like a belly controller. Oh, that's okay. And let's look at the chin. We'll do some bounce on the chin. And then drag it open, down, open, down, open, down, and then back again. I'm sure that's way over exaggerated. Let's see. And let's delay it 2 frames. Three frames. Not so closed either. Keep it mostly open. Punch in a key here. I feel like it should be the inverse of this though, so let's try flipping it. There we go. Get it loose. Okay, that's what we want. Now we just want less of it. I was gonna say, it didn't feel so right there for a second. just overall push it a little more closed. A little more on the ups and a little less on the downs as well. Let's see how it feels. There we go. Okay, now let's look at the fingers here. So I'll grab all the spreads and we'll drag them back there, push them forward, drag them back, push them forward, and then go back. We'll take the index and we'll push it forward a frame, and the pinky we'll push it back a frame. And then we'll look here, try and change up our grouping a little bit more, so we'll look at the pinky and we'll do a little more pinky here. This one we could grab the middle, do a little bit more just so we have some different groupings with the fingers there. I knew there was something off there. My jaw's not going back to where it started here. Come on. The jaw controller. Come on. There we go. Just wanted to cycle correctly. And let's go ahead and save our file. We still need to do the thumb on this one. So we'll pull the thumb in here. And the thumb can go out there, in here, and then back again. Now, one thing I gotta make sure is I keep that toe zeroed out. I think I wanted that toe to hit 0 here, and 0 there, and keep it zeroed out there still, or even more like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna zero it out here, keep it zeroed out there, 2 frames more, keep it almost like that. There we go, that should be a little better. Okay, and we'll go back and check out this one, make sure we got the toe locked in where we want it here. Zeroed out there, zeroed out there. Gotta kind of sculpt it so we're not intersecting the ground plane here. And zeroed out there, zeroed out there. Okay, it's a little better. Okay, I'm going to save our file and let's look at this hand here. And we'll grab all of the spreads here and we'll swing forward a little bit, back a little, forward a little bit, back a little, and then back to where we started. Okay, and we'll take the index and we'll push it forward a frame, and the key, and we'll drag it back a frame. And let's check out our grouping. And pull the pinky in a little bit more there. Pull it out a little bit more there. And do the ring finger in a little bit. And the ring finger, we could go in a little bit more here. And the middle finger will go back a little more. Okay, and let's look at our thumb. Go out there, start in a little bit more, in a little bit, out there, and back again. Alright, I think that works. You could definitely spend another hour or so polishing it up, but I think we got something that's workable. Nice, slow, kind of heavy run. Is it heavy? We got some weight in there. It could probably be heavier or lighter. It's kind of right midland about there with the weight. But we still got, I think, enough weight to sell that there's some shifts there. So let's go ahead and take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful illustrative work of Sachin Teng. And he said, I always think about what my work wants to say, and then I design to communicate that feeling. I think that's really kind of taking your work and trying to push it to the next level is finding out what it is you want to communicate with your work. So not only is it mechanically functioning correctly, like your perspective's on, your anatomy's on, and your posing's good and everything, but then once you're getting behind that, it's like, what do you want to do with it? What is it that you want to tell the world? What is it? What kind of feeling do you want to evoke from your audience? Or what kind of character is this? So thanks for hanging out with me. I think this one turned out all right. Definitely we could play around with it for a little while longer, but like I said, I hope that you guys don't feel lonely in your art day, that you're going and pushing and taking another step towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. Remember, if you're watching this, you are the creative future, and I totally believe in you, and I love you guys lots. You're amazing. You can do it. Take another step. And I think that'll wrap it up for today, so we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.